When it comes to our four-legged friends, which is cheaper to own, a dog or a cat? We'll find out on today's savings experiment.
The Savings Experiment, presented by Bank of America, because frugal is the new cool.
Aw, look at those cute little guys. Who wouldn't want to take one home and just love them and squeeze them and play with them forever?
But what people may not consider are the substantial costs of owning a pet.
So let's compare between cats and dogs. First off, let's talk about purchase costs.
Instead of going to a pet store, try a placement website like petfinder.com. It's an excellent resource for finding rescue animals. You can save money and save a life.
There is some overlap in cost between rescue animals. Cats cost around $75 or $125 for kittens, while dogs can go from $75 to $200.
The cost of adoption almost always includes spaying or neutering and shots.
And the winner for this category? Let's give it to the cats.
Now let's see what you'll need to prep your home for your furry little friend.
Here's your dog. He'll need a leash, maybe a harness, and a crate. Here's your cat. He really doesn't need very much at all. Stuff like collars, flea powder, and food and water dishes cost just about the same for both, so we won't worry about those.
Now let's look at toys and snacks.
Doggy toys go for around $5 to $9, and dogs tend to go through them quickly.
Cat toys tend to be less expensive, retailing for between $3 and $5.50.
As for the snacks, a $2.50 jar of catnip will do the trick, as opposed to generic biscuits at $3.25 a pound.
Try to stick to dry snacks. They're the cheaper option, and they're better for your dog's teeth.
After everything is tallied, score another for the cats.
Now, let's examine food.
Dry food is generally cheaper than wet food, and it's about the same for both cats and dogs at $1.50 to $1.75 per pound.
With wet food, there's a bigger difference. Wet cat food costs about 60 cents to 90 cents per can, while wet dog food costs about $1.50 to $2 per can.
Generally, cats prefer more expensive wet foods, but will eat less of it. Dogs are less picky eaters, and they'll gobble up whatever you put in front of them.
Assuming your dog eats a half pound of dry food a day and your cat eats about 1 can of wet food, the cost is pretty much even.
When it comes to food, let's call it a tie. The numbers are also close when it comes out the other end. Each biodegradable bag for your dog's waste costs about 15 cents.
Assuming you use 2 bags a day, you're looking at $2.10 a week.
A litter box for the kitty is a one-time cost and can be had for $25. As for the kitty litter, a generic brand goes for 60 cents a pound. 2 pounds a week will run you $120.
That's only a 90-cent difference. Definitely not a deal breaker.
So when it comes to the business end of things, again, it's a tie.
One of the biggest expenses is grooming.
If that dog of yours has long hair, like this guy, you may end up spending $264 per year.
Compare that to a $5 brush that takes care of anything that your cat doesn't on its own.
Definitely a win for the felines. So what's the final score?
As far as savings go, felines are the favorite. No matter which pet you choose, do a little digging and find out how much you'll spend for your lifestyle. You'll have a happy pet and an even happier bank account.
For more great videos, come visit us at walletpop.com.